Anti-heroes, right. We've all encountered a few, but Elric of Melniboné, he's like the ultimate. Albino emperor, soul-drinking sword, the works. Definitely a legend in the fantasy world.
Oh, absolutely. A walking contradiction, really. You wouldn't expect a ruler who despises cruelty to be wielding such a weapon. And an addict who craves knowledge. It's a fascinating combo.
So we're diving into all of that, figuring out why Elric still resonates with us today, and our trusty guides for this deep dive, his Wikipedia page and the Moorcock's Multiverse Wikia.
Sounds like a plan. I'm ready to get started.
Let's do it. Let's unpack this albino emperor thing first. I mean, talk about standing out from the crowd.
No, it's Melnibône we're talking about. They're obsessed with beauty, with power, with being, well, superior, godlike even.
Right, right. And Elric's albinism kind of throws a wrench in that whole image.
Exactly. He's a living contradiction, a challenge to everything his people believe. And his Wikipedia page doesn't hold back. It describes him as the color of a bleached skull, milk-white hair, slanting crimson eyes.
Whoa. Talk about metal album cover material.
It's striking, for sure, but it goes beyond just looks. It speaks to Elric's whole deal.
Yeah.
He's an outsider from the get-go.
And not just because of how he looks, right? The wiki also mentions he's physically weak, reliant on drugs, or at least special herbs, just to function.
He's the emperor, born into incredible privilege, and yet dependent on substances. It hints at a deeper struggle, don't you think? A vulnerability that might explain his later dependence on Stormbringer.
Stormbringer, yeah, we're definitely getting to that soul-sucking sword. But first, let's talk more about this Melnibône place. What's it actually like living there, being ruled by someone like Elric?
Imagine a city of obsidian towers, shimmering under a dying sun, decadent, cruel, clinging to past glories.
The Dragon Isle, right, that's what they call it.
For centuries they ruled their world. Magic, might, they had it all. But by Elric's time, it's a crumbling empire. The humans of the young kingdoms, they're on the rise. And Melnibône, they're clinging to tradition while everything falls apart around them.
And Elric sees it happening, sees the rot at the heart of his own people.
He's a product of this ruthless culture, absolutely. But he's also deeply at odds with it.
It's interesting, the Moorcock Wikia mentions how he spent his youth, devouring books, immersing himself in knowledge, almost like he was searching for something beyond Melnibône.
He was. He saw the darkness in his people, their inevitable decline.
Yeah.
And it haunted him.
This is where things get really interesting, because this is where Stormbringer enters the picture.
It's not just a sword, is it? Stormbringer. It's like this extension of all that inner turmoil.
Right, right. The Moorcock Wiki even calls it sentient, forged in chaos, hungry for souls.
It gives Elric the strength he doesn't have, makes him a force to be reckoned with.
But at what cost? It feels like such a dark pact, you know?
A Faustian bargain, absolutely. This is Elric we're talking about. He hates cruelty. And yet here he is, bound to this blade that flies on it.
Every victory just feeds the sword's hunger. And you have to wonder how much of Elric gets corrupted along the way.
Exactly. It's a classic fear, right? Power corrupting. The wiki even mentions the myth of Kullervo. You know, that whole soul-devouring blade thing.
It's like this idea has been echoing through history forever, this fear of what power can do to us.
Totally. And the thing about Elric is, his struggle with Stormbringer, it's like this powerful metaphor for, I don't know, the seductive nature of darkness. Even when we know it comes with a price.
And that's what makes him so compelling, right? This constant battle against the darkness inside him. He's trying to do good, to fight against his own legacy. But that sword is always there, tempting him.
Exactly. Makes you wonder, is there even a way out for someone like Elric? Is he trapped by his heritage, by that cursed sword? Or does he have any agency at all?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? And Moorcock, he doesn't exactly make it easy for us. It's this whole complex web of fate, free will.
You've got prophecy on one hand, the weight of his lineage, and then you've got Elric making choices. Terrible choices sometimes. It's like he's trying to defy destiny.
Right. Walking a tightrope, right?
Oh, yeah.
Over an abyss.
Exactly. He's trying to find his balance, but it feels like the whole world's trying to push him off. And that tension, that struggle, that's what makes Elric's story so captivating. He's a cautionary tale, a reminder that even with good intentions, we can get swept up in forces we can't control.
Like those sliding door moments. What if Elric had never found Stormbringer? Would he have been a different kind of emperor? Or was this his path all along?
Right. It's fascinating to think about. But maybe that's Moorcock's point. There are no easy answers. Elric's story isn't about giving us solutions. It's about forcing us to confront these hard truths. About power, about choice, about how seductive darkness can be.
Speaking of uncomfortable truths, what about all the adaptations? Comics, music? The Wiki even mentions a potential film.
By the Whites brothers, no less.
From soul-drinking swords to the silver scream, that's quite the journey.
It shows you the power of Elric's story, right? How much it resonates with artists, whatever their medium. Take Hawkwind, for example. Their album, Chronicle of the Black Sword, is practically an homage to Elric.
And don't forget Black Blade by Blue Oyster Cult. Moorcock himself wrote the lyrics for that one.
Not every day you get a rock legend doing that, right? But Elric's impact goes beyond just those examples. Even if someone's never read the books, chances are they've encountered echoes of Elric somewhere.
The brooding anti-hero, the struggle for redemption, those are some seriously influential tropes.
He helped popularize those ideas.
So what's the takeaway here? Why should we care about this albino emperor and his soul-hungry sword?
Because Elric's struggles, they're timeless, you know? This burden of power, wanting to have agency when it feels like fate's in control, these are things everyone can relate to, across cultures, across time periods.
It's like looking into a mirror, isn't it? A slightly twisted, maybe more stylish mirror.
We might not be battling chaos gods or anything.
We've got our own battles to fight, our own choices to make.
And consequences we can't always predict. Exactly. Moorcock isn't giving us answers. He's giving us Elric, this flawed hero, stuck between destiny and desire. There's no easy redemption arc, no clear-cut victory. It's messy, it's tragic, and honestly, that's what makes it so human.
It's amazing, right? A character created decades ago, and he's still so relevant. We've talked about Elric's struggles, how he's this flawed hero, but what do you think keeps us coming back to stories like his?
Well, there's that question of agency, isn't there? Elric's entire existence is a paradox.
Yeah.
Emperor, but powerless. Hates cruelty. Wields a soul-drinking sword.
Yearns for freedom, but maybe fate has other plans.
He embodies these contradictions. You know, he fights against the inevitable. And in that struggle, we see something of ourselves.
It's like they say, the only constant is change. Elric's world is falling apart, and in a way, so is ours.
Exactly. We face uncertainty, difficult choices. It makes you wonder, do we really have control over our own lives, our destinies?
And Moorcock, he's not exactly offering any easy answers.
He gives us Elric, this flawed hero caught between what he wants and what he's destined for. There's no clear path to redemption, no easy victory. It's messy, tragic, and completely undeniably human.
And that's what stays with you, I think. It's not about escaping reality, it's about confronting it. Those hard truths about ourselves, the choices we make.
The forces that shape us, whether we like it or not. Elric reminds us that even in this world of magic and chaos, it's the internal battles that really matter.
The struggle for balance, for some kind of agency, for even a sliver of hope when everything seems dark.
Exactly.
So for our listener, for anyone who's been on this deep dive with us, what would you say is the most important thing to take away from Elric's story?
Never stop questioning. The world isn't black and white. Elric's story isn't about easy answers. It's about wrestling with those complexities, the allure of power, the resilience of the human spirit, even when it's broken, even when it's, well, bound to a soul-drinking sword.
That's beautifully put. Elric might be a fantasy character, but what he goes through, his triumphs, his failures, there's a truth there that goes beyond genre. So next time you're facing a tough choice, think of Elric, the albino emperor who challenged destiny itself. Ask yourself, what would Elric do? And maybe more importantly, what would you do differently?